Billions of people around the world learned about the efforts to send astronauts into space and to land a man on the moon because they listened to a Voice of America broadcast. Billions of people shared in the journey. Among VOA's vast global audience in 1957 was NASA astronaut Harrison Schmitt, then a college student studying abroad in Norway.
The only really American radio I could get was Voice of America out of Algiers. And it was during one of the Willis Conover broadcasts, Jazz from A to Z, that they interrupted and announced that the then Soviet Union had launched the first artificial satellite of the Earth, which was Sputnik 1.
Schmitt credits that broadcast with launching his eventual career as an astronaut. From Sputnik 1 through Schmidt's 1972 Apollo 17 moon mission, the last one where astronauts walked on the lunar surface, VOA was there at Kennedy Space Center in Florida to document it all.
This is the Voice of America's Apollo 11 News Center.
It is burning, it's moving. The rocket is lifting off the pad. It's lifting beautifully into the sky.
VOA covered the highs and lows of NASA's crewed spaceflight history, from the first shuttle launch to the last, and recent ventures into space aboard commercial craft. Artemis 2 is also, in a way, a test, just like the Artemis 1 mission is. Until March of 2025, VOA covered NASA's Artemis program, returning astronauts to the moon. VOA's global audience watched or listened as we covered the launch of Artemis 1 in 2022, crew training in California, production of the new capsules that will transport astronauts back to the moon, and preparations for Artemis 2. With Artemis 2 on the launch pad behind me and the Orion capsule ready on top of the SLS rocket system to take astronauts back to the moon, this mission, Artemis 2, will mark the first crewed mission to the moon that Voice of America is not on the Space Coast to cover. VOA also did not report on current NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman's presentation at NASA headquarters March 24th to announce the agency's priorities in returning to the moon and establishing a base on the lunar surface. VOA was once a beacon to the world for one of humankind's greatest achievements, landing on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And is still needed as an important source of information for an international audience eager to learn more about NASA's current endeavors.
The space program was a positive that gave people inspiration and help about what this country was doing.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.